Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to the very last candle review of the day. If you missed it a little bit earlier throughout the day, I uploaded my thoughts on a Homeworks fragrance as well as a candleberry scent. So if you missed either of those reviews and you are interested, I will go ahead and list and link them in the description box down below. But in this video, we are going to be talking about one of the new scents that Kringle came out with for spring summer 2024, and this is Gardenia. In full disclosure, I did receive this one in PR, so Kringle sent me this 3-wick version. All opinions are still my own. I am a Kringle ambassador or affiliate, if you will, so from time to time they will send us some candles here and there to be able to share our thoughts with you guys. So that is how I obtained this one. If you are interested in picking this one up, I'll put a link where to shop with Kringle Candle in the description box. I will also put my discount code that'll save you 15% off of your purchase. And actually, I'm super happy to report that on the day that I'm filming this particular review, which is on Thursday, I'm actually showing the new scents, at least this Gardenia one, on sale finally. So typically when Kringle releases their new fragrances for a given season, so for Kringle, typically they do like a fall winter release and then a spring summer. They typically wait several weeks after the release before they start including the new scents on the different sales that they offer. So it looks like we are finally getting these new scents on sale. So I'm not sure if my affiliate discount code will apply to this particular sale, but it's always worth just popping that in before you check out to see if you can save a little bit more money. So we're gonna go ahead and run through this beautiful Gardenia here. I will say, while I do really like the artwork here on the 3-wick version, if you are a sucker for Kringle labels, and I kind of am, I think they do a really fantastic job with a lot of their labels. The flower, like the Gardenia flower that is on the label of the medium and large tumblers, it's just so beautiful. Very simple, but it's just such a pretty flower. Back when I was doing a lot of florals for weddings, if you're new here, I actually owned my own floral design company for over 10 years. I'm not really doing that right now, but I tended to book mostly weddings, a decent amount of funerals, but mostly weddings. And I loved to use gardenias for corsages. And I also loved to include them in bridal bouquets sometimes because they are just such a fragrant and quite powerful in terms of their fragrance type of flower. It's also just a pretty flower to look at as well. So if you happen to be a big fan of Gardenia, I think this is one that you should check out. So let's go ahead and run through the fragrance description, the notes. I'll tell you what my nose picks up, and then we'll talk strength and throw, if there were any burn issues with this 3-wick here, and we will wrap it up. Okay, Gardenia. Let the pure, intoxicating essence of gardenia and jasmine bloom in your space, while the delicate musk and hint of sweetness leave a lingering, timeless impression of a lush, serene garden in full bloom. Ooh, sounds so pretty. Sounds very springy. Okay, top notes: white floral and gardenia. The mid notes are jasmine and green, and then the base is musk and sweet. So, what do I smell here? First of all, the very first note that I noticed was definitely the gardenia. Like, that really is the standout floral here. But I have to say, for some reason, my nose is also picking up almost like a bit of like a honeysuckle. I'm not sure if that is the other white floral that is mentioned in the top notes, but it really seems to me like this is mostly a blend of a gardenia, with the gardenia being the most prominent, and then some honeysuckle coming in after that. And then I do also get a little bit of like a white jasmine in here as well. Jasmine was another one of those flowers that I really liked adding in, especially to bridal bouquets, because it has those gorgeous like tendrils that, you know, if you have a cascading bouquet, that look really pretty with that. And it's also a very fragrant flower as well. So I do definitely detect some jasmine in here, but it's definitely well behind that gardenia and that kind of like honeysuckle type note that I'm getting. Now, oddly enough, I don't get a whole lot of green from this one. Typically, I tend to detect those green notes pretty easily, but I'm not getting that here. In terms of the musk and the sweet, I do think that in general, honeysuckle and gardenia and even jasmine, I would say, would be considered slightly more sweet floral scents in general. So I can see where maybe the sweetness comes in just naturally with the floral notes, but it's not like I smell some type of added like sugar or honey or, you know, molasses would make no sense here. So of course it wouldn't be molasses, but there's no other type of like sweetness, I guess you could say, that I can detect in here other than just the natural sweetness from the floral notes. The musk, I think, is something that plays a supporting background role here. This is not a musky floral scent at all. It's a very vibrant, I would say, very authentic take on these floral notes. You know, being a florist, I think I was really lucky to get my nose into a lot of different flowers. And these here, I think, are some of the most authentic takes on florals that I have smelled from Kringle. And I think they typically do a great job with their floral candles anyway, but this one I think is executed incredibly well. So if these are the types of florals that appeal to you, this would be so lovely during the spring as well as into the summer months as well. So if you're interested, I can highly recommend this one just based off of these scent notes. And as far as the strength and throw in this 3-wick version, I've had a pretty good experience with this one. I would put the strength at about a 7, and I would put the throw at probably between a 6 and a 7. It's definitely a room filler, I will say that. It doesn't travel like around the entirety of the downstairs of the house, but I can definitely tell that if I'm burning something else that, you know, it should probably at least coordinate with this particular type of scent. You don't want something that's going to compete with a very straightforward floral like this, I think. So, you know, I've had to be a little bit careful about what I pair with this. But on its own, I wouldn't say that this fills the downstairs of the house. It does travel just a touch, but not like house filling. I'm okay with that personally, because for me, florals tend to be, I don't want to say hit or miss. They're not my favorite type of fragrance note, I guess you could say. I'm much more drawn to gourmands and like sweet fruity scents. That is what I naturally gravitate towards. Honestly, floral scents do still a little bit remind me of work. I talk a lot about how there's certain notes like eucalyptus or lavender that I just really don't personally care for, because they just remind me of spending hours in my little garage studio, you know, putting floral orders together until like 3, 4 in the morning before a wedding day, and that's really stressful. If you are getting married in the near future, definitely tip your florist. They work hard to get you these flowers, and make sure that they're alive throughout the course of your wedding, especially if you're getting married on, you know, like a 90, 200 degree day in the middle of the summer. So anyway, good strength and throw here. I don't know what the strength and throw would be on the either large or medium tumblers. I'm assuming it's probably going to be roughly about the same. You know, like I said, these are quite potent florals, so I wouldn't expect the tumblers to be lighter at all necessarily. The overall burn quality on this 3-wick has been great. The wicks are, I've found this a little bit interesting with some of these 3-wicks this go around. They are curling a little bit at the top. And I actually have not been trimming the wicks very much. As long as there's no major like mushroom tops that are forming, I have not been bothering to do anything with the wicks. I just kind of light them up again. But if I do trim, I use my cuticle scissors. These wicks are not ones to stay super long, so they don't need a ton of trimming to begin with. And because they also have that little bit of a curl, it can make it difficult with, you know, those like wick trimmers that you can get at, I don't know, I bought mine years ago at Yankee Candle, but it's just a little bit harder to tell with those wick trimmers, like how much wick you're taking off. So get yourself some cuticle scissors at your local Rite Aid and just reserve those for candles like this where the wicks kind of are, I don't want to say fragile because I don't think they're fragile, but you don't want to trim off too much. I'll give you guys an overhead shot. Now I did just light this not long before starting to film this video, so keep that in mind, but I have had no issue with sooting or scorch marks or wax discoloration. This is that beautiful like soy formulation from Kringle, and I just don't deal with very many problems with this particular formulation. The Country Candle still seems to be a little hit and miss from what I'm seeing from some of the reviews. But the like regular Kringle line, no issues. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look from the overhead so that you guys can see how it's doing. Oh, it's already completely pulled out. I literally just lit this not that long ago. This one gets a nice, oh, there's just that little area there that has yet to melt, but this one gets a nice deep wax pool going, and that's really gonna help you with getting some awesome strength and throw out of this one. So yeah, I definitely am gonna give this a couple of thumbs up, even though I'm not really like a huge floral person myself. It is just done so incredibly well, and I enjoy gardenia scents. One of my favorite personal perfumes is the original Michael Kors fragrance, and that has a gardenia base to it. So I definitely was kind of excited to receive this one and be able to smell that particular note. So anyway, if you're in the market, I give it 2 thumbs up, and let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the videos today. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.